Hello, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day to all of us again. And this is Sharon Lapu-Lapu, and thank you for supporting my channel. And please click the notification bell so that you will be alerted when I post a new video. And today, my guest is Mr. Craig of Average Man Unplugged YouTube channel, and his channel is growing rapidly and gaining popularity. So, Sir Craig, welcome to my channel, or is Sharon Lapu-Lapu. And then, although I am interviewing Mr. Craig, Mr. Craig, you are free to ask me any reasonable question about the Philippines or me as a Filipina woman you deem appropriate or have curiosity or rumor that you would like to clarification. I can speak for the majority, but hope my answer are similar to what you would hear from most Filipina. So, sir, let's get started because I know you are very busy. So, hello, hello, hello. Okay. Okay, sir, let's get started and hello, hello, hello. Okay, I think Mr. Craig has a problem, so we will wait on her. And happy Valentine's Day to all of us. Thank you for um, still watching my videos. Hello, Mama G. Okay, okay, she's back. Okay. Okay, sir. Hello, do you hear me? Do you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I'm like it was just it's kind of lagging on your end.
I don't know. Maybe my internet is
Not
weak
sure what's going
today.
on.
Okay, so let's get started. Do you hear me? Okay. Um, Please tell everyone about your channel, its content, history, and goals and objectives.
A little bit. Like,
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, do you hear me?
well, when I originally started the channel, well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to. There wasn't at the time there was like a lot of guys that were pretty much speaking for like um I really don't like the term high value man, but that's typically where you pretty much heard on the in YouTube a lot, and there wasn't really anybody, speaking for the everyday average 9 to 5 person who's, probably not where he wants to be yet, but is trying to better himself. And that's pretty much where I kind of think I found my lane at. I just wanted to speak for the everyday person because at the end of the day, that's most people, because everybody isn't going to be rich and everybody isn't going to make 6 figures. So I wanted to have a voice for the everyday person, and my main objective was just, the everyday person, not to be so down on themselves and believe in themselves and better in themselves, and just knowing that there's more to life than a 9 to 5. And
Mm,
if you really, really work hard and believe in yourself, you can have better outcomes. Because a year ago this time, I was almost on the verge of giving up on my channel, but I continued and I pushed through and committed, and a year later here I am. And
mm,
that's just one of the things that I try to preach, and I'm inspiring others to do the same thing, and also travel, which is something that I've always wanted to do, but I was always a little bit afraid of flying. But once I got
mm,
over the fear of flying, because I took a couple of trips in the United States, once I got
okay.
over the fear of flying, from there it was getting my passport, and here I am.
Okay. Why do you think your channel has grown so rapidly and is continuing to excel?
Um, I think because I'm very transparent. I don't really hold anything back. Um, I'm open to critique. I don't try to come off like I know everything or that I'm perfect. Always willing to learn from others, and I think I speak for most men. Uh, a lot of guys that probably are thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, but they're just afraid to say it. So I've took it upon myself to be the guy that'll be willing to take the arrows in my back, because I know a lot. Some people are going to disagree with me, but at the end of the day, I know that the things that I say, most men do think, they're just afraid to say it, especially in the United States, because like anytime a man kind of expresses what he's thinking, it's always kind of viewed in a negative way, like no matter how politely you try to say it. So
Yes.
I think that's one of the reasons why, because I think I just speak for most men, and I'm very transparent. So there's really there's no skeletons in my closet. And I think that's one of the reasons why you don't really see a lot of other YouTubers, like me, having like any kind of beefs or issues with any other YouTubers like that, because I don't have anything to hide.
What's your personal status? Are you married, single, available, or uncommitted? Why or why not?
Um, as at the moment, I am single, but I am definitely looking. It's one of the reasons why I came to Colombia first, because um, I used to work with a girl that is from Colombia. I was originally supposed to come down with here with her, but that didn't work out, because she wasn't able to go. But once once I discovered the passport space, I thought this would be my opportunity to find the kind of relationship that I grew up being raised in. I grew up in a two-parent household, um, very traditional. Unfortunately, it looks like I was raised in the wrong time, because I'm at an age now. I'm 37, and I'll be 38 next month. And
Mm,
when I think about when I think about wanting to have children and raise a family, you know, in the United States, it's kind of tough, because a lot of the women that are in their 20s, they're
mm,
not, how can I put this? They're not really, I would say, majority of them aren't really thinking about
mm,
marriage and having children. And if they are, um, they really don't have the mindset of family and wanting to be married, and
mm.
they kind of view marriage in a negative light. Plus, a lot of women in their 20s in the states don't really want to settle down with a guy my age. The
Mm,
age gap dating isn't really accepted as much as it is in countries like where you're from. So that's
yes.
kind of goes into it too. So that's one of the reasons why I figured, traveling might be my best option for me to find a woman that's younger, but still has that family and marriage mindset and wants to start a family and have and be married.
Have you ever been to the Philippines or date a Filipina?
Um, no and no, but I actually do plan on coming to the Philippines in the next month or two. I'm supposed to come in March. So
Ah, okay.
my original plan was to come here first and then do the Philippines in March, and then in April I was gonna go to Thailand.
Okay.
Now, depending on how things go, it may change, but I'm definitely gonna be going to the Philippines because the Philippines has become very popular on my channel, and I get a lot of love from Filipino. I mean, Filipino women and men. Actually, I have Filipinos that watch my channel as well. So, um, I get a lot of love and a lot of respect from people from that country. So, I'm definitely looking forward to my time there.
Okay. Would you be interested in becoming a visitor to the Philippines or a passport brothers, since the title somehow has become a public leveling?
Um, that's a good question. I would, since I because this is actually my very first trip
Mm,
overseas, so um, I guess you can say in a way, yes. I'm definitely a passport bro supporter. Do I consider myself a passport brother or a bro? I wouldn't. I don't want to say no, but at the same time, with it only being my first time, I don't want to. I don't want to like jump the gun and say that, oh, I'm a passport bro now, because a lot of people that say they are, these are guys that have been doing this for a while. And with this being my first time, I'm really I'm really enjoying just seeing something new, learning different cultures, making new friends in different countries,
yeah,
um, and really just taking in the scenery because you know I want to with it being my because there's like so many places that I want to see and things that I want to do that doesn't have anything to do with women at all. But you know, I would say that considering that I support what the new movement is about, I would definitely say I'm passport. I would definitely say I'm pro passport, bro. I would definitely say that. And what was the other part of the question? Did I answer the other part?
um, yeah, that's also to become a passport brothers.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I
And
think yeah. I guess you can throw me in there. Yeah.
okay. And sir, if you would like to, if you have some question to me, you can ask question to me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to name 10 reasons Helga Babaska give you why Filipino women like black men. Briefly explain your interpretation or understanding of them. One, handsome. Two, strong. Three, big world, well involved, be deeper, start trickier, and go where no man has gone before. Four, caring. Five, loving. Six, romance. Seven, amazing smile. Eight, funny. Nine, talented. 10, similar to Pinoy.
Oh, okay. I'll be honest. I think I remember doing a reaction video to that, and a lot of people in the comments gave me a hard time about number three,
Mm,
because that was the first time I ever heard of well endowed being called big
mm,
world.
okay.
So when she said big world, I was kind of confused. Like it was like I kind of had an idea that that's what she was talking about, but that was my first time hearing it being said that way. So I was kind of like, did she mean what I think she meant? And a lot of people in the comments was like, yeah, Jerome, yeah, that's what she meant. I was kind of like, oh, okay. Okay, okay. I was like, cool. I was like, I'm like, because everything else, I was kind of like, okay, I can understand. But number three, I was kind of like, did she really mean that, or did she mean something world something else? They were like, nah, Jerome, she meant well endowed. I was like, oh, okay, okay, all right, I understand now. Oh, hold on one second.
Okay. Okay.
Let me see. Hello.
Hi, Ma'am RG. Thank you for the super sticker. Here again. From Getchi Lion. With a Sharon, my friend, happy Valentine's Day. Did you get the Valentine card and music today? No, sir. Sorry, I don't receive it.
All right, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, sir. Okay. Okay, my next is, were you able to contact Helga and her exact meaning and definition of her 10 reason? If not, would you like her as a guest on your channel?
Oh, actually, I did have her guest on my channel. I had her. It was tough too because it took me about. I want to say it took me about maybe about a month, a little over a month to finally get her on my show, and I could tell that she was nervous because I think it was her first time ever coming on to somebody else's channel, and um, I will say this. Uh, um, she's one of the reasons why all of a sudden now there seems to be this running joke on my channel because ever since that she said I look like Tupac, now all of a sudden it seems it seems like every Filipina that comes on my channel is like, oh damn, you know what? You do look like Tupac. And I'm like, thanks, Helga. I'm like, everybody thinks I look like Tupac thanks to you. Because she said apparently apparently she had a crush on Tupac growing up, I guess. So
Um,
I was like, okay. I'm like, now all of my subscribers like they like to like bring in Tupac jokes, and I'm just kind of like, okay. So thanks that I'm like, so Helga, if you see this, thank you for that.
okay. Okay, five of your most popular videos are: one, Black man tells men don't date in US, and two, don't bring foreign woman to the US, and three, Michelle cooks why black woman push black men away, and number four, Nika Marie, you understand why black men go foreign, and five, Helga Babaska, why do Filipinas like black men?
Oh, okay. So why do I think those five are the most popular? Um,
Yes.
ooh, that's a really good question. Uh, well, ooh, I'm like a really good question, but it's probably going to be a very controversial answer. Uh, there seems to be this disconnect where how can I put I'm tr- I don't think I can really put this lightly. I mean, put this in a nice way. Um, it seems that black women in the United States, they seem to have this idea that they kind of own us. So whenever I put a video out that explains or shows why black men are choosing other women that are not American black women, I think there seems to be a bit of a shock factor or shock value to it, and I think that's what draws in a lot of these viewers. Because I know one of the particular videos that you're referring to. Um, One of the women that was the focus of that video um, was actually in the comments, and as expected, she wasn't too happy. And what the funny thing is that actually turned out to be my viral moment that really got my channel growing. So I believe it was probably the second or the third one that you mentioned that I had my viral moment. And the funny thing about it is I didn't have any idea that I went viral for it. It was just okay. I noticed that this video was really taking off. Um, I started getting monetized, and then from there it's like I went from 1,000 subscribers to 10,000, like just like that. And a big part of it was because like I want to say maybe the top two or three videos that you mentioned that really, really, really helped take my channel to another level. And the other videos that are in that top five kind of followed up as well. So yeah, I think it's just a little bit of a shock factor when American black women were just kind of like they were I think they were just kind of like surprised at first. I mean, as of now, not so much, but yeah.
Please explain the Passport Brothers labeling, your definition of it, and your thoughts on its origination and notoriety.
Um, hmm, Good question. In my opinion, I think the Passport Brother is. I know some people say a movement, some people say an ideology. In my personal opinion, and this is just me, I look at it as a community of men the that share the same frustrations, but they see the same solution.
Okay.
Um, and how it originated. I had I actually had a guy on my channel right before I came here. Um, he's a YouTuber called Brazil Yesh. Um, and this is his words, not mine. Um, he said, he's the one that originated it, and it grew from there. Um, I will say that um, reacting to some of his videos have been some of my most popular videos as well. Um, and I just kind of see it as a group of men.
Mm,
I kind of look at it like a brotherhood, like a community. Um, we look out for one another. We share information.
mm,
Um, there's a lot of group chats, a lot of groups and social media, and we just look out for one another and just try to share information and just give people's heads up and what to look out for, do's and don'ts. Because at the end of the day, we're still from the United States,
mm,
and we want to represent ourselves in a way that doesn't come off so negative, because there are negative connotations
yes.
that come with being a passport bro, and I understand that. So that's one of the things that we hold each other accountable. Kind of like with the Austin Holloman situation. Like, because I'm like I have his number and everything. Because when that went down with him, I reached out to him and just let him know, like, hey, we got your back. It was an innocent mistake. You know what I mean? And other guys that have been doing it for a little longer, they gave him advice. Um, but at the end of the day, it's still about holding each other accountable and just looking out for one another, and just trying to represent, us in a positive light, because like I said, it comes with the negatives as well. But
Yes.
generally the negatives are just, how can I put, generally the negatives aren't necessarily, the negatives don't aren't really a reality. The negatives are, I think, most of the negative stuff just comes from American women disagreeing with what we're doing because it's not beneficial to them. So they throw a lot of the negative stuff that gets said is really not true. It's really not.
Okay. Okay, sir, I issue series of video as Please Act Right series, among other videos, asking Western Union and more appropriately Black women to become more traditional and stop stereotyping. And yes, I mean, stereotyping Filipino women. Did you watch any of them, and do you think responding to them is effective or just useless? Why or why not?
Um, I did. Let's see. I do remember watching the video when Please Don't Act Right. You had that collaboration with him,
Yes.
and I do remember that. And then I did watch a little bit of the video that you did with Filipina P. And what I will say is, I would say at this point, I would say responding to them it might be useless. I mean, because even on my channel, I don't react to the negative comments that women say because
Yes.
I I kind of been doing that for months now, and I even started noticing like other guys that travel, they were in the comments thinking the same thing as me. Like, you know what? This is good for entertainment, but it's kind of getting pointless because it's really not going to get through to these women because
Mm.
unless we're trying to make ourselves happy under their terms, they're not going to accept it anyway. And I think that's just one of the problems. It's not even about, men, finding happiness and and just, being happy for them and letting them do what they want to do. It seems to be like, well, if you can't be happy the way we want you to be happy, then we're going to shame you for going after your happiness. And I think that's one of those things that I think men, Black American men in particular, we're kind of starting to accept it. And instead of continuing the conversation, I think men have decided to just talk with their feet and, well,
Mm.
their passports.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you for Amos Brown and Alpha Nerd Radio. Okay. All right, sir. Many passport brothers go to South America because of its closeness to the United States and the mindset that the women are sexier and shapely. I watched their videos, and my opinion is that many Filipino women bodies are the same, all shape and sizes. Do you believe a country woman can be sexier than other or keep and open-minded since you never really visited that country? What's your opinion?
You know what? I'm actually glad you asked this question because this was
Mm,
one of the things that I love about my subscribers.
mm,
So as you know, I'm in Colombia. I was fixated on coming here because for the exact reason that you mentioned, the women being curvy, um, the melanated tan skin, the different shades. And when I did my first reaction to, I think I believe it was Helga that I did my first reaction to a Filipina. And I started, I was explaining to them like, I'm really not familiar with the Filipinas like that, but I was under the impression that they weren't really curvy how I what I consider attractive. But then when I came across other guys that have been down there, and then another YouTuber, I think Mike's Philippines Journey, and then he gave me like a whole history lesson on how the Spaniards colonized years ago, and then started putting two and two together, and I was kind of
Mm,
like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, yeah, Filipino, Filipina. I was like, yeah, come to think of it, that does sound kind of like Spanish. And then when, he started telling me about, people's last names,
mm,
some of the language, and I started putting two and two together. And then, guys are showing me pictures of curvy Filipinas. And I was kind of like, and then I was like, you know what? I was like, Filipinas do kind of favor Spanish women. And then he was like,
mm,
yeah, that's because the Spaniards colonized years ago. And once he gave me all
yes.
once he gave me the history, I was kind of like, well, damn, you know what? Maybe I should be a little bit more open to it. I mean, because I've seen Filipina. Now, I've only met like a couple Filipinas back in the States,
Mm,
because I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, so that's like the Midwest. So
yes.
I know Filipinas are like really populated like on the west coast of the
Yes.
United States. Um, but I've only met like one or two in my whole life. But the ones that I have met, I'm like, they were beautiful. I'm like, and they were curvy. So I just didn't realize that there was so much similarities. So the more I learned, the more I was, open to, learning even more. So it's, I mean, everything from all the different languages and dialects that y'all speak. I'm like, there's a lot of history, even tied to Black people, that a lot of people are unaware of, and like I was really excited to learn that. So I'm like, hopefully, maybe I'll get to learn that a little bit more once I do visit.
Okay. And sir, I'm gonna read the question of Afro Nerd Radio. Are the passport bros a second tire to the black manosphere or an expansion? Is there more about correcting the black male image? Black men are creating infrastructure severely underreported.
Oh wow, these are good questions. I like this. Um, I would say, see, I always looked at the passport bros as a solution to the red pill, or a solution, or a solution to the manosphere, so to speak. So in a way, I guess you could say a second tier, because when I originally started my channel, it was more about it was more of a red pill channel, and I kind of it's funny because I kind of fell into the passport bro space, you know, doing reactions. And, once I was doing these reactions, I just kind of looked at it like, you know what, this might be a solution to a lot of the stuff that I talk about, and a lot of the stuff that we do talk about in the manosphere. So, in a way, I guess you could say it's an expansion, but I wouldn't call it an expansion. I would call it maybe more of a solution. And correcting the black male image, I would definitely agree with that. Because as he mentioned, there are black men that are building infrastructures and slowly but quietly building communities in other countries. I've literally had talks with other passport bros, behind the scenes, that are letting me know this, because I actually brought the idea to another passport bro. I was kind of like, hey, building communities in these other countries, you know what I mean, might not be such a bad idea, man. I'm like,
Yes.
so, and when I told him about it, he was like, dude, he was like, they're already doing that. He was like, it's just not really, um, it's just not a heavy, it's just not spoken about a lot. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, because I've had subscribers reach out to me and say, hey, when you start traveling, come here. I'm gonna get you settled here, and I'm trying to build a community here. And I had another guy say, hey, I got this going on over here. I can help you get settled over here. So it's definitely it's definitely guys making moves, and it's one of the things that I've tried to explain on my channel to to detractors and people that disagree and think that men are just going over to these other countries, just to get laid. And I'm like, no, it's way bigger than that. Like, guys are building communities, guys are starting businesses, guys are getting into real estate, business opportunities. Like I know there's another YouTuber who opened up
Mm,
a bar in Thailand. Um, I know guys, and I know guy. There's a guy in Colombia that has a couple of restaurants. So guys are definitely doing way more than a lot of detractors think. It's way this movement is way bigger than just women. It really is, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, because there's way more. There's a lot of opportunities.
okay. Sir, do you have any question for me? You can ask me 5 questions or we continue.
Mm, um. Okay. Are you single? Or are you looking to get married, or like what? Like, what's your status?
My status is widow. I am widow 2 years ago. My husband passed away last 2020 in his country, and we were separated for 6 years after our marriage. We never meet again. So until he passed away, and I have 15 years old daughter. My father of my daughter was abandoned for 15 years, and so it seems like I am single and ready to mingle.
Oh, okay. So do you have any prospects at the moment, or
Yeah,
in
my
talking to
prospect
anybody
for
right
the
now?
moment is no, I am not yet ready, but I am slowly on that because I have some fears because I've been broken. I was broken, and then I'm gonna think my priority is my daughter, that she will finish her school, and my mom, because my mom needs me, especially right now that she will needs her operation, her 2 eyes for her cataract. So we will process that slowly because I need to process her Pel Health here, and so because Pel Health will pay the doctor payment, but the rest I will pay it for that. The rest.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so do you like black men?
I yes, I didn't say I have no skin preference. Any, as long as the guy are nice, kind, faithful, honest, caring, loving, respectful, and accept me who I am, accept my daughter like his own, and accept my family and love me who I am, and I don't care. I don't have preference color because for me the more important is the character and the attitude of the person.
Oh, okay. Okay, another okay, I got two more questions. I got two questions left,
Okay.
right?
Okay,
Okay.
yes.
Let's see. So if I were to go to the Philippines, what and I was looking for, what I typically find attractive, curvy, um, Filipina. What what city should I go to if I'm coming to the Philippines?
Okay, sir, you can, if you will come on the Philippines, any city you will go, you will see a beautiful and sexy Filipina. Even in the mall, in the restaurant, in the coffee shop, even in the public market, or even in the streets.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. So like so like what which cities are like really popular there?
Here, the city popular here is Cebu City because Cebu City is the our province, and then mostly people will go and Ayala Mall. Ayala Mall is a big mall also, but the more biggest is SMC side. But most of Filipina woman, they go to as Ayala Mall because Ayala Mall is nice. There are different restaurant and then different places or shops, and then they can stay in I don't know how to say that. There is a place that they can sit or yeah, mostly Filipino woman go to Ayala Mall because SMC site is a few far, so it takes a long time to travel. And then mostly SM City Cebu and Ayala Mall, Ayala Center Cebu Mall.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and all what kind of I mean all people are welcome here. Black people, Korean people, white people, African people, I said all are welcome here. Yes,
Okay.
and then okay, and then Sir Fred, hi Sir Fred, and Sir Fred also suggests to you Angeles City is popular place to visit. So, Sir, every
Okay.
city in the Philippines you will go, you can see beautiful Filipina.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, okay,
All right.
okay.
I'm like, yeah, because I'm having a hard time deciding like which city I want to go to first. Um,
Mm,
but I do know because I recently did a collab with Joanne, and she's in the
mm.
Philippines. I would have to reach out to her again to find out exactly where she at, because she said she was willing to be my tour guide for free as long as
Mm.
as long as I just give her coffee every morning. I was like, okay, that's cool, that's a fair deal.
Okay.
I was like, because I'm like, I can't go without coffee.
Okay. And you can watch also Sir Filipina vlogger so that you will have more ideas.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay. Are you planning on visiting the Philippines as part of your bucket list or to see a traditional family oriented Filipina?
Um, both, hopefully. Uh,
Okay.
don't get me wrong. I love Latin women, but now that I understand how very similar the Filipinas are, I'm definitely a lot more. I mean, a lot more open um, to the Filipinas, especially considering there will be less of a language barrier because a lot of you speak English very well. Um, even though I am learning Spanish and I love the language, I'm not fluent where I would want to be yet to where I can converse with the locals. So I do understand that the language factor definitely plays in a Filipina's favor, and I've seen so many pictures of beautiful places in the Philippines. I mean, I can definitely see why people go there. I think Joanne said there's a place. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Is Boracay?
Boracay.
Yeah, Boracay. Did I
Yeah,
pronounce that
Boracay is
right?
an island. Yeah, Boracay.
Yeah.
Boracay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, that place looks beautiful. I'm like, oh my god, the white sand and the blue beaches, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm sorry, white sands and the blue water. But yeah, yeah, I would definitely say a little bit of both because I'm like, it's a beautiful country. It's definitely. I still can't believe y'all have over 7,000 islands. I really
Mm.
feel sorry for whoever had to count all those islands.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and sir, Coron Palawan is much more beautiful. When you will be visit there, you can see the rock stone building, the rock stone on the sea, and then blue sea, white sand. You feel like you are in the paradise. Coron Palawan is very beautiful.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm looking forward to coming there. I'm looking forward to coming there.
Yes. Okay. You can search Coron Palawan and YouTube or in Google. It's very beautiful.
Oh, okay. I'll do that for sure.
And I'm quite skinny and I am 41 years old, sir. I'm going to stand up and turn around, although I am over the hill in the Philippines. Would an American be interested in me? Why or why not?
Um. Oh yeah. Yeah. That definitely.
Okay, would you
Definitely.
like me to stand up? I'm gonna stand up, sir.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna have any issues. You're not gonna have
Okay,
any
thank
issues.
you.
You're not gonna have any issues. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. You're not gonna have any issues. Not at all. Not at look, they're in the chat. You're not gonna have any issues. Not at all. Wow.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. Okay.
Mm-mm.
It's common here in the Philippines to see a foreigner aged 60 years old to 75 years old with a Filipina age 18 years old to 35 years old or older, either dating or married. If desire, I know in America, only the rich man can date the very young without being profiled. Here, the foreigner just need to be stable and solvent, and it's nobody's business. What is your opinion of significant age gap in relationship? What would be your range or age gap limit at your present age?
Good question. Because I kind of asked this myself a lot, and it seems to change a little bit. Um, even since coming down here, I'm kind of noticing that the younger girls, they seem to still kind of be in that fun stage. And with me, with 40 like being right around the corner, I want to say, if I had to put a number on it, I would say somewhere between like 23, about 23, 24, between like 23, 24 up to maybe 30.
Okay.
Because I want a woman that's still young enough to have children, but at the same time
Yes.
mature enough to where she's ready to move forward and start a family. Now, the women in the Philippines may be different. I've seen women on the internet from the Philippines that are like, as soon as they turn 18, 19, like they're ready to start a family and get married like that. And I don't see an issue with that, but I just think for me personally, that probably wouldn't be my first choice. I think if I came across a woman that was that young and was ready to commit and ready to start a family, I would probably have to. How can I put this? I would probably have to fill it out a little bit more just to make sure that that's what she really wants, since she is a little bit younger. But um, it's funny, because it's funny you mentioned that, because when I did a reaction to one of Filipina P's videos, and this was a very, very, very valid point. Um, Typically, guys my age, we kind of know what we want, and women that are typically between the ages of 18 or 24 is, that's the peak of their beauty. And the one thing that I appreciate that I've learned about the Filipinas is that during that age is when y'all typically are looking for something serious, because y'all have a better understanding of
Yes.
when y'all peak value is, and y'all try to take advantage of it and find somebody that's suitable. In the states, those women during that age, they're typically, it's kind of the complete opposite. That's a nice way of putting it. um, and 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 it made sense what she said is that that's typically you typically want that age gap because those are typically the group ages where both genders are looking for the same thing. So I think that's something that I appreciate about your country is that the women there understand that and they're more accepting of it. Unfortunately, in the United States, that doesn't really seem to be the case, and it's really sad to see because I think if we adopted that in the United States, I think we would have more successful relationships and marriages. But
Yes.
you know, for for other reasons, it's just not accepted in the states, and and I think that's one of the reasons why we have so many marriages and relationships that don't work because when you have a guy that's in her 20s, when you have a guy that's in his 20s still trying to start something serious with a woman that's in her 20s, typically the woman that's in her 20s is not getting what she wants from that man because the
Yes.
man he's not really in a position where he's a little bit more stable or a little bit more mature per se, um, which is why I think in your country women typically go for the older guys because they just have a better understanding of that.
Yes, sir, but we must be very careful also because not all the Filipino women have has a good intention to the foreigner. So, yeah, you
Mm.
must be very careful on that because there are some Filipina are scammers, but not all. So you must be very careful on that. Okay. I would like to say before I proceed, I would like to say, Quiet Mike for the super chat. In your experience, is Filipino Cupid legit for meeting a young Gash Filipina for 15 years old? Just wait, get down there. Yeah, I say, sir, it's not it it's not bad for you to be in dating site, but you must be very careful. That's all I can say. You must be very careful because not all in the dating site are true. Okay. Okay, sir, if you have any fellow vlogger lacking knowledge of the Philippines and Filipina woman, will you ensure that this interview and your questions and my response are fully disseminated to hopefully bring more awareness and clarity to stop stereotyping?
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
Okay. If you have any fellow bloggers lacking knowledge of the Philippines and Filipina woman, will you ensure that this interview and your question and my response are fully disseminated to hopefully bring more awareness and clarify to stop stereotyping?
Yes, definitely. That's actually one of the main things that I try to push on my channel. This one of the big things that I try to do on my channel is try to debunk a lot of the myths and a lot of the lies and misunderstandings that people may have. And I think it's one of the reasons why I started doing reaction videos to Filipinas that are starting to defend themselves and speak up for themselves. It's just very unfortunate that we have not all women, but some women in our country that are very naive to what else is going on in the world, particular when it comes to how how women of other cultures and from other countries how they approach dating versus how we do it in the United States. um like you'd be surprised, especially when it comes to American black women, like they have no idea of how much black people are tied to the history with the Philippines. And even I had to admit myself, like I mentioned earlier, it was something that I was unaware of. But once I was told, once I was told and taught what the history of it, I was kind of blown away, and I was kind of like, wow. And I'm like, it's been the same experience with me even coming to Colombia. Like, I had no idea
Mm,
how, how much black people were tied to the history here. Like, it was another one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Barranquilla, Colombia in particular,
mm,
because I'm here for carnival, and carnival
mm,
is tied very close to the African Latin culture here.
mm.
So not so like I said, there, I'm not just traveling for the women. So, I want to learn. I want to learn more while I go to these other countries as well, and so that way I can continue to spread the message and let other people know, like, hey, this isn't what you think it is. This isn't what you think it is. There's way more to this, and if you really just take the time to just have an open mind, you be surprised what you learn, because I've definitely been surprised, and it's definitely just being down in Colombia for the past 2 weeks has been a culture shock in itself. So I can only imagine what can happen once I come to the Philippines.
Okay. Perhaps, sir, you have another question to me. You can ask me question.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? You said I can ask another question?
Yes. Okay. If you have something, a question to ask me, you can ask me.
Um, mm, there was a question that was kind of more like a favor, but I kind of wanted to ask you that behind the scenes. Um,
Okay.
let's see. Let's see. What? Because there was another question that I did have.
Mm,
So, oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I wanted to know. So, what's your opinion on how American women have responded to the passport bro movement, and like, all the negative things, and the certain remarks and stuff that I'm like, what are your thoughts and your opinions on it?
okay. My opinion is that for the foreign, I mean, to the woman in United States, if they are still continuing what they did to their companion or to their boyfriend, they will lost everything, and then the Filipina will be the winner because we are traditional woman, and then we can do anything for our companion. So better earlier that they change before it's too late that they realize that what they did is not right. Yes. Because we are, I think, um, here it's mostly third grade here in the Philippines, even here in Lapu-Lapu where I live. Every mall you will see Filipina with a foreign. We will be the winner if they will still continue what they did to their companion. Because as a Filipina, even me, I have experience. I can make my companion like a king. I can do anything, even for to make a cup of coffee. My companion doesn't know. He doesn't need to do that. I can made it. So that's the attitude of the Filipino. We can do everything for our companion, even for to prepare the towel, for to prepare the food, even for to put the food on the plate on our companion. We did it. Yes, so we take good care of our companions. So, if they are still continuing to do that, it's their loss, and it's too late that they realize because all their men will go overseas for to search a traditional Filipina who take good care of them, and then nothing demand to any because I think mostly not I didn't say in general because in the US there are some there are some women there that find rich. I mean, they have average life level a situation. But here in the Philippines, no. Filipino woman just contented of what I have, and then what our companion have, and then we don't need more. We just simple, and then it's okay for us if we will live a simple way of living. And then for to all the people out there, you can watch my video. Please act right, Saris, so that you can know what kind of Filipina woman, I mean, attitude of the Filipina woman.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
here,
It's, I'm like,
sir, honestly, the Filipina woman can take it off the shoes of the companion from work, sit on the sofa, and then we take it off the shoes. Even for that, we do it to our companion.
oh, okay. Okay.
Mm,
Wow.
yes.
All right. Yeah.
Uh,
It's just unfortunate that everything that you said, the a lot of United States women are gonna see that as um they they just have such a negative way of looking at it, and it's just so
mm,
sad to see because men, for the most part, men are still held to a traditional standard in the United
yes.
States, and I'm like, and I think that's where I think that's a where the big disconnect is in our country. It's just women say men, men should no longer expect a woman to do X, Y, and Z, but y'all still expect men to do X, Y, and Z plus A, B, and C. And it's kind of like, hold on, wait a
Yes.
second. You know what I mean? And men, and the passport bros are kind of like, nah, nah, we're just gonna go over here. I'm like, because it's like because if we're gonna still be held to a traditional standard, why not just go where the women are traditional?
Yes. And me, I grow up in a traditional family.
Yeah,
Okay,
see, I'm like,
sir.
and you know, yeah, go ahead.
Hmm?
I'm
Okay, you
sorry,
can go
I was
on.
gonna say something. Oh yeah, because I was just gonna say because I was raised in a traditional family as well, and my mom actually made more money than my father, and even though she made more money than my father, my dad still made decisions around the house, and
Mm,
she still cooked most days for us.
mm,
So I think it's kind of hard for me to accept that what I grew up seeing and that was considered traditional. It's hard for me to accept what women expect of me as a man now, but they don't even want to do any of the things that I grew up seeing. And my dad, because I grew up in a house, and my mom, my mom took care of the cooking and cleaning, and anything that had to do with having something fixed or you know anything that had to do outside of the house, like because I'm from a part of the United States where it gets cold and it snows, so
mm,
you know you're not gonna see my mom, shoveling snow and slipping down on ice. You're not gonna see my mom cutting the grass. You're not gonna see my mom doing any kind of you know, heavy labor outside of the house. That was my dad's job. He took that upon himself. And that's one of the reasons why, I learned how to cut grass when I was like 8, 10 years. I learned how to cut grass when I was 10 years old. And part of the reason why is because my dad wanted to make sure that I knew how to take care of the things outside of the home. So that way, when I did find somebody else, you know, there was that balance of, you know what I mean? She takes
yes,
care
equal.
of inside, I take care of outside. See, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we you just don't see that in the United States. It's like it I don't know. They can't comprehend that, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because I grew up with that and maybe other people didn't, but I don't know. But mm,
Okay, there is somebody asked for sir, what is this guy's channel? One you guys are probably part of his subscribers. So
Okay, yeah. I think Woke Quill in the chat just put it up. Average Man Unplugged. Average
okay,
Man
his
Unplugged.
average man vlog. Okay, this is his YouTube. Where is that? Okay, this is his YouTube channel, Sir Patrick. Okay. And Sir Craig, any closing comments to our viewers?
I just want to say thank you for bringing me on. This was
Mhm.
definitely a pleasant surprise because I'm like I have seen you on YouTube before, so when I
Oh
like
yeah.
when you emailed me, I was kind of like, is this who I think it is? I was like, no. I was like, this
Uh-huh.
ain't Sharon. I was like, oh my God, it really is her. Um, and thank you everybody in the chat that supports me and Sharon. Um, I hope that this for anybody that disagrees, I hope this helps clear the air. And I do want to say I was pleasantly surprised when you stood up as well.
Okay. Okay,
Um,
and okay, your answer.
yeah, that's all. Just thanks everybody for supporting. Thanks everybody in the chat. Sharon, thank you for having me on, and I look forward to visiting the Philippines in the future.
Okay, and thank you also, Sir Craig, to be on my channel, and I really greatly appreciate. And then, despite of your busy time, but you spend time with me and to be on my channel, and okay. And I will post his channel link in the video description, and please subscribe to the Average Man Unplugged YouTube channel, and it's good content. And subscribe also my channel, Sharon Lapu-Lapu, as well. So this is the end of the interview. And sir, thank you so much for to be on my channel and to agree the interview. So that's all, everyone, and God bless and happy Valentine's Day to all of us, and God bless to all of us also. So bye.
Bye.